Good afternoon, and I'm back. I told you I would be back. So, we need to talk a little bit about the signs of a type 2 chronic cheater. You ready? Listen up. Pay attention now, okay? Signs of the chronic type 2 cheater, okay? Now, this is for the ladies. This is also for the gentlemen. So if you are a man watching this, pay attention. Some of these signs will be the same between men and women. Some of these signs will be a little different. And we're going to talk about those differences. But yes, there is a way to know within the first 30 days, 60 days, that you are dealing with a type 2 chronic cheater. And so once you hear this teaching, it's on you. It is no longer on anybody but you. If you get involved with the chronic type 2 cheater and find yourself being cheated on, it's on you. And you're going to have to take 100% accountability for that. Okay? All right, let me turn this way. There we go. Okay, so number one, I keep telling y'all, you need to hone your intuition. You need to hone your instinct, because your body, your intuition, your gut will tell you everything there is to know. But a lot of you are so addicted. You are so addicted to the physical plane. You're so addicted to what you can see, what you can feel, touch, taste, and smell. Like, you are not honed in to the 5D. You're not honed in to the spiritual side of yourself. But if you just take a little bit of time to hone in to that spiritual side of yourself, your gut intuition, your instinct, it will tell you. It will tell you, nope, not this person, not her, not him. Okay? So that's the first thing. You have got to hone in to your body. You've got to hone in to your gut instinct, your intuition. Okay? So for the ladies, that's going to feel like that immediate sexual attraction to a man, that immediate chemistry right away, that and y'all know the type of chemistry I'm talking about. And it's really for the men too. The type of chemistry I'm talking about is the chemistry that just don't make no sense. Right? It don't make no sense. Like, you just met this person, you don't know anything about them. They haven't done anything nice for you. And oh my God, girl, he just so amazing. Oh my goodness. Oh, he this and that. Oh, girl. No, you don't know him, sis. You don't know him. And honestly, your body is trying to tell you that this man, okay, you may feel a raw sexual attraction to him, but this man is not going to be faithful to you. This man is not going to take care of you long term. This man is good for a good time and not a long time. Okay? So if you feel this instant on fire chemistry with a man, like just an instant raw sexual attraction to him, that's actually a bad sign. That's not a good sign. That's a bad sign. Because what our nature tells us is that healthy feminine women, we have healthy attraction to men who have actually proven to us. They've done something. They've shown us in some way. But for a man to just show up and you're like, oh my God, girl, he's just amazing. Oh, and you ready to take off your panties and throw it at him, that's a bad sign. Because he has done absolutely nothing to prove who he is, who he gonna be to you. He's done nothing. He's done nothing. And I keep telling women, a man's actions should be turning you on. A man's consistency should be turning you on. Him showing up day after day after day, the things he does, that's what should be turning you on. But if you have an instant attraction to a man that ain't even done nothing, ain't about nothing, you don't know nothing about him, that's not good. That's the first sign right there, is your instant chemistry with them. That's not good. That man is there for a good time, not a long time. Okay, so no, I don't know you like that. And look, you can appreciate him looking good. You can appreciate him smelling good. You can appreciate his smile and all of that. But he's done absolutely nothing. He's done absolutely nothing to get anything from you. And for the men, now the flip side of this, because men are naturally visual creatures. So they are naturally drawn, they have a raw sexual attraction to a woman based on her body, based on her lips, based on her eyes, based on her voice. It's all these things. Men who like pretty feet and pretty nails and all of that stuff. And the way a woman smells, okay, we get it, okay, because you all are built a little different than us. And so the woman doesn't have to do anything. Just the way she looks is enough to turn you on, okay? However, I want you to pay attention, fellas, because this is your sign. This is your big sign. If a woman is addicted to attention, if she needs a lot of outside validation, if she has a lot of male friends, if she knows a lot of men at work, like, there's all these little signs that y'all ignore because, maybe you think you all that. Maybe you think, I'm a great catch and all this other stuff. Pay attention to the signs. A woman who's, feels a type of way about her phone, who's very protective of her phone. A woman who, because women do a lot more emotional cheating, so they'll have all these conversations and all these DMs going back and forth and all of that. Women are notorious for that. Even the women who won't physically cheat, they will emotionally cheat. But emotional cheating is just a hop, skip, and a jump from physical cheating. So if a woman get caught talking to another man, a woman gets caught, texting or DMing her ex, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. If they're cool with their exes, leave her alone. If she cool with her baby daddy, leave her alone. Okay? If she's of a certain age and she still need to go out, she still need to do these crazy things while she's out, leave her alone. She's trying to tell you, buddy, no, I'm not just yours. I'm out here for everybody. And I want all the attention from everybody. I want all the attention I can get. Leave her alone. Okay? To the ladies, something similar applies to the men. You need to beware of men who are cool with their exes, cool with their child's mother. You need to be aware of men who, have all these multiple Instagram pages and, posting all the time and creating all these curated videos and all of that. The male attention whore. There is such a thing as the male attention whore. He needs attention. He needs likes. He needs validation. He needs to sell you a dream. That's a huge one. I keep telling women, stay away from men and their fake persona. The men who have to sell you a dream. They have to sell you this fake life that they have because it looks so good. It looks so interesting. You ain't the only one, baby. Okay? Men who are dopamine addicts, men who are addicted to porn or watch porn, even men who watch porn casually. No, that's a bad sign. Stay away from men who watch porn. Okay? Stay away from men who are addicted to dating apps. That at any given time, they have dating apps on their phone. I have dated men and I have said, okay, are you getting rid of the dating app? Like, what's going on? Why are you dating me or in a relationship with me and you still have dating apps on your phone? Like, what's happening? I'm going to be real quick to call that out. What are you doing? Oh, well, I'm not really going on there. Why is it on your phone? So, ladies, you find dating apps on your man's phone and he still has dating apps on his phone? Come on now. Don't be foolish. So things like that, but you're going to feel it in your body. You're going to feel when something isn't right. The hot and the cold, the in and the out, the times where he's there and then he pulls away. That's the biggest one. Most cheaters, most chronic cheaters are avoidant men. They are emotionally unavailable men. And do you know why? Because they can compartmentalize. They can compartmentalize. They can see a woman, they can see you one day and see another woman another day. And in their mind, those things don't touch. Each of y'all are in your own box. Those two things don't touch. So they don't even, it doesn't even occur to them that, oh, this could hurt, this right here could hurt this person, or vice versa. Men who are not empathetic, and there's a quick test you can run to determine a man's level of empathy. Okay? But if there is no empathy there, if there is no putting himself in your shoes, run for the hills. If the man is emotionally unavailable, if you having feelings about something, good, bad, or anything in between, makes him uncomfortable, run away. Avoidant men tend to be chronic cheaters because they don't make a connection between their poor behavior and your emotions. They will actually blame your emotions. Why are you crying? Why are you upset? Why are you yelling? They don't even see it as a response to their bad behavior. So some of these things, like I said, you can't get Buddy. Buddy is, you can't call him at any certain hours of the day or night. Like, come on now. Like, it's not rocket science. You don't get a really good reason why you can't call. Men who, I hate saying this, but men who work in certain professions, women who work in certain professions. How about that? Prone to cheating because they have a certain schedule. They're around other people of the opposite sex. Yeah, I mean, I hate to admit it, but it's the truth. But the signs of the type 2 cheater, to me, is clear as day. Ask questions. Try to determine the person's level of emotional availability. If you can't get anywhere, if you get a bunch of word salad when you ask questions, just abort the mission. Like, this person doesn't want you to know them. This person doesn't want to get close. They don't want you to know them. And that's a big red flag. They're telling you, no, you're only going to get so close to me. I have a wall up. Men who are still very much in love with their ex-wife, their ex-girlfriend, talking about their ex-wife, talking about their ex-girlfriend, talking about how bad they were done, and on and on and on. Like, these are hurt men, wounded men. Wounded men turn into chronic cheaters because somewhere deep in their psyche, they believe that, I've been done wrong and now I got to go out in these streets and be reckless. So leave those guys alone. Okay? Men who are undisciplined, and that's not hard to figure out, but men who are undisciplined, men who are not disciplined with their money, men who are not disciplined with their time, men who are not disciplined with their workout or their body or their business. Like, undisciplined men, emotionally immature men make for chronic cheaters. If their family of origin life is chaotic, if there is trauma there, if they had a horrible relationship with their mother and or their father, or no relationship with their mother and or their father, these people tend to be chronic cheaters. So, story time. I'm going to pick up from my story from the earlier live today. I told y'all about my father, who is a type 2 chronic cheater. My father was given up by his biological mother when he was a baby. He was given to his aunt. His aunt raised him. His biological mother got pregnant by a man in her small town of Georgia. And apparently, I think that man was married. I think the man was older than her and he was married. So she got pregnant by him and did not want the baby, which was my father, gave him up at a young age, gave him to his aunt. His aunt raised him. His mother then went and moved out of Georgia, moved to Texas, She married a man there and went on to have like 8 or 9 kids. So she's married to this other guy. She has all these kids by him. My dad starts to feel away. Like, what's wrong with me? Why would you, give me away? So he wasn't raised with his mother or his father. Why would you give me away? But then you go on to marry this guy and you have all these kids by him. And he starts to feel away, as he should. Okay? So, yeah, my dad, deep down in his psyche, and he don't want to admit this, but I've talked to him about this, but deep down in his psyche, he has a mother wound and a father wound. He has a mother wound and a father wound deep down in his psyche. And secretly, I don't think it's a secret. I see it plain as day. But secretly, he has a disdain for women. It's like he has a need for women. He has a need for a woman's validation, but he also has a deep disdain for women. He has I don't want to use the word hatred, but he has a deep disdain for women. And I think that's a lot of his acting out. A lot of his cheating and lying and doing what he's doing is, the woman who should have loved him unconditionally did not. She gave him up. And, that's a very deep, deep wound in his heart. And he's, still doesn't understand it. He had developed a relationship with his mother, and he eventually met his father. He met his father as a grown man, and this was after him and my mother were divorced. He did eventually find his father. He met his father, and he eventually developed a relationship with his mother. But he always just had a disdain, it was a hurtful thing because he just couldn't figure out why this woman didn't want him, And instead of doing that work, doing the heavy lifting of, let me try to heal this wound. He never did. He never healed that wound. He just went from woman to woman to woman and, leaving a trail of broken hearts. But, find out about that man's background. Find out about that man's background, because if he don't have a good relationship with his mother, he didn't know his mother, he don't have a good relationship with his father. Ooh, this is another one. Y'all gonna hate this, but I'm gonna say it. If that man's father was a chronic type 2 cheater, if that man's grandfather was a chronic type 2 cheater, if that man's uncles was a chronic type 2 cheater, the chances are very high that he's going to be a type 2 cheater. So, Freely Yoli, hello. She says, how do you suggest one navigate these things long distance? Just asking questions and observing. You have to ask tons of questions. You have to observe the person. You have to observe how they treat other people. And when you are with that person, just observe them. But y'all gonna hate me for this, but the long distance dating is dangerous territory, is very dangerous territory, because if you're with a type 2 chronic cheater, that person has a lot of time, to do what it is they want to do. And remember, they are compartmentalizers. They're going to see what they're doing when you're there and what they're doing when you're not there is two totally different things. They don't even see those things as, touching. Like, what does one have to do with the other? That's what they really feel in their mind and their heart. So be mindful when it comes to long distance dating. And this certainly isn't everybody. There are plenty of people who are in long distance relationships, and those relationships are solid. Those relationships are good, but you should be able to call that person at any time. You should be able to show up. You should you should have an open line of communication with that person. If there's any hot and cold, in and out, back and forth, you don't know what's going on, that's not good. Because like I said, there's too much space and distance. You don't know what's going to happen. No. That's to me, that's a ripe environment for some cheating to go down. So just be mindful of that. Very mindful. But ask lots of questions. And see, here's the thing that y'all do not want to do, and I don't understand it. You do not want to ask about these people's family. Ask about their family. Why isn't that the first questions you ask? Tell me about your mother. Tell me about your mother when you were a kid. What's one of the greatest memories you have of your mom? Tell me about your father. What's one of the greatest memories you have of him from childhood? Do you have any brothers and sisters? Tell me about them. What's your relationship like with them? Who's the closest member of your family to you? Like, please start with the family, because this is the environment this person was raised in. If there's any hint of dysfunction, any hint of drug abuse, addiction, cheating, any craziness, mental illness, anything, please find that out sooner rather than later, because that had an effect on that person, whether you want to admit it or not. That had an effect on that person. It has been 25 years of work on myself to overcome some of the things that happened in my childhood. Okay? Between mom, between dad, 25 years of doing the hard work, of acknowledging the things that I saw, of acknowledging the things that happened in my family. And I believe that for the most part, I came from a pretty good family. So that person has to be willing to share, but also if you do find that there are things there, they have to be willing to do that work or have done that work. But you all overlook the family every time. You overlook the family, you overlook the friends, you overlook a person's, relationship with addictions and relationships with mental illness and all that. You need to know all of that. Have you ever been on any mental health medication? Okay. Have you ever been clinically depressed? Do you suffer from debilitating anxiety? Like, seriously, y'all need to ask those questions, because you're ending up with people that have horrible coping skills, that have all kinds of problems, all kinds of, abuse and neglect and addictions and all this stuff in their past. And all they're going to do is take that bag and dump it on your front doorstep. They're going to untether that bag and dump out all of their trauma on your front doorstep. So please find that out. And just know this, it's one thing for a person to say, yes, I come from a divorced home. I come from a divorced family, or I didn't have my father. Here's the work I have done around that. That should be the next thing that comes out of their mouth. What? And if it ain't, that's the next question that comes out of your mouth. What have you done? What type of spiritual work? What type of mental health work? What type of therapeutic work have you done around your parents' divorce? What kind of therapeutic work have you done around your divorce? What kind of mental health or therapeutic work have you done around being separated from your children? What kind of therapeutic work have you done around your addiction issues or your alcohol issues or your fill in the blank? You all don't ask these questions. And if I can be so bold, it's like it's a lie of omission. Like the person could eventually say, well, you didn't ask. Like when you find out about their porn addiction and you're married to them, and in that first year of marriage, why didn't you tell me about this? You didn't ask. That's what they're going to say. You didn't ask. You didn't ask me about this. Like, I didn't lie because you didn't ask me. So please, let me be honest with y'all. The things that I find most distasteful, those are the first things I find out. So all the things on my don't want list, I dive head first into breaking you down. Like, I want to make sure beyond a shadow of a doubt you don't have anything on that don't want list. But the second I find out you got something on that don't want list, we good. I'm good. And that's how I've avoided dating another type 2 cheater, because I find out. This is what I wanted to ask you. Who created the rules for marriage? Because America is making huge profits off of divorces. Did white people make the rules and everybody just ran with it? Who makes the rules? In my mind, it's God who makes the rules. So my marriage, when I am married again, God makes the rules. And there's a whole big book full of the rules. Okay. Those are the rules that me and my husband will follow. God makes the rules. Okay, that's who makes the rules in my mind. All right, he says Africa didn't have that. Yeah, God makes the rules in my mind. And so there are ways in which we are to conduct ourselves. And if you read your Bible, you will learn what those ways are. Okay? But to me, it's not hard. It's not hard to recognize type 2 cheaters. And here's what I'm going to say, just because I want to be compassionate and kind. You're going to miss some signs, right? You're going to miss some signs. There's some things you're going to miss. Like we've all missed some things. My hope is as you continue to live as I have, you learn a little something. You learn a little something in every interaction, every little thing. I learn something. I learn something every day from every friend, from every man I've dated, from every person I've loved, from every person, everything. Learn a little something and apply what you learn. See, a lot of us, we're going through things, we're having things happen, we're getting our hearts broken, we're getting busted up about it, but we're not applying anything. We're not applying anything. We're just bumbling into the next relationship, not asking the same questions, not looking out for the same red flags, and we're finding ourselves in these situations over and over and over. So the truth of the matter is, you have to apply what you're learning. So from the last person that I dated, that's when I dove deep into attachment style. I was already starting that work when I started dating that person. And I actually told that person that. I said, hey, I found out I have a fearful avoidant attachment style. And I'm working on becoming more secure. So that is something that I'm working with my personal therapist on. Here are some of the signs of what fearful avoidance looks like. I actually told that person over the phone. And all the while, I had no idea I was dealing with someone who was dismissive avoidant. Because dismissive avoidants show up as secure. The first 3 to 6 months, they're great. They're great. They appear to be emotionally available. They appear to be all the things. And then right at around 5 to 6 months, they start pulling away. They start becoming emotionally unavailable. They start giving you all these signs that, oh my God, I'm getting scared. We're getting too close. I'm getting scared. I don't know. And then you start getting the hot and cold, the back and forth. You get the shutdown. Yeah, it's the self-sabotage, all the things. And so I'm like, okay, well, I mean, all right, here it is, playing out in real time, the dismissive avoidant playing out in real time. But ever since then, I have dove so deep into attachment style. I have dove so deep into becoming more securely attached. I have dove so deep into reading the signs of insecurely attached people and staying the heck away from them. I have applied what I have learned. That's what a lot of us are not doing. Crazy T said, can I ask you this? Don't certain scriptures contradict itself from Old and New Testament and KJV? I'm asking because I don't know. So you will have to study the Bible. And what you have to understand is, yes, the Old Testament is different than the New Testament. You have to understand that God created everything perfectly in the beginning, and then sin was introduced into the world. And so the Old Testament is under that Mosaic law. Everything happening in the Old Testament is what people don't understand about the Old and New Testament. So the Old Testament is people having multiple wives and, people running amok, people acting like fools. And at one point it got so bad that in Noah's day, God was like, bump this. I'm just going to cause a great flood and wipe all y'all out. Clearly the man that I have created is a big disappointment. So forget all this. I'm just going to wipe everybody out. The only man I see that actually wants to be godly and act right is Noah. Noah and his family. So Noah, I'm going to give you the assignment to create this big boat, this ark, and put 2 of everything in it, put these animals in it, and some of them he put more than 2, if you read the Bible, okay? And your family and your sons and their wives and y'all can repopulate the earth because I'm sick of people. I'm sick of people. So that right there tells you when people talk about polygamy and people used to have multiple wives and they used to do this and they used to do that. Okay, clearly it wasn't okay with God because he wiped everybody off the earth. So y'all forget about that. So yeah, we had to start over. Okay. And then, people still didn't know how to act. So he was like, well, darn, I don't know. People still ain't acting right. They still ain't doing what I want them to do. Like, this sin is just, man, I don't know. So you know what? I'm going to have to bring a savior. I'm going to have to bring a savior down to earth. I'm going to have my son come down to earth in human form, and he's going to save everybody. Because you know what? I promised Noah when I had that rainbow come in the sky, I promised Noah that I would never wipe everybody off the face of the earth again by flood. So let me, bring y'all a savior. Let me just have my son come down. And as soon as Jesus come on the scene, everything changes. Jesus sets everything right. You are not to have more than one wife. You are not to have concubines and all this other mess. There's a whole lot of things that you couldn't do under Mosaic law or that you could do, and now no. Jesus has arrived, and now you can't do that. Don't do that no more. So you have to study the Bible. It is not contradicting itself. It is just different seasons in which God is trying to get us back on track. Okay? That's it. I already knew that part about the Noah's Ark story. I was raised in church family and all. I know quite a bit about the Bible. Okay, study. That's it. Then continue to study. Continue to study the Bible. It does not contradict itself. God is always going to be, a loving God. He can be a vengeful God, because he don't like a lot of foolishness. That's why I tell people, I don't get people back. I let God do that. I let God do that for me. Karma is real, and the Bible speaks of it. What a man sow, he will reap. So yeah, study the Bible. Just study the Bible. It teaches you everything you need to know about how to live right and how to have a good life. It teaches you how to, do your money and all kinds of stuff. The Bible is amazing. It can teach you so many things about life, but nobody wants to read it. Nobody wants to study it. So I digress. Okay, so y'all, I gotta get ready to get off of here. I'm looking dead at my dog. Digging another hole in the yard. Now look, I just worked in the yard this past weekend and planted grass seed. Grass seed is all over the yard, and she's sitting here by the tree digging a hole in the yard. So I got to get ready to get off of here. But ladies, you're going to know it in your body, but you have to be in your body. A lot of y'all are so deep in your head. You're so connected to this that you're not connected to this and this, your gut down in you. You'll know it. If you have an immediate, chemical reaction to a man, a sexually chemical reaction, that's a horrible sign. That's a horrible sign you about to get used and abused. I walk away if I have a physical reaction, I walk away. I walk away from those men. I'm like, nope, this is either some trauma from my past, or this is something really bad for me. That's what this is telling me. This is bad for me. No, walk away from those men. The love should ease up on you. It should feel slow and steady. It should be a slow burn. That's the true love. The lustful limerence, the limerence part of you, no, do not trust that. Do not trust that. And gentlemen, to me, it's easy for y'all. A woman who craves the attention of many, no. A woman who doesn't know who she is, an insecure woman, those are the type of women who will cheat. Women who are insecure, women who need lots of attention, not lots of male validation, women who, they were not raised around men. They don't understand men. And so, they're just tickled pink when a man, sends them a compliment or DMs them. They don't see it for what it really is. Women who confuse a man's sexual attention for something real. These are women who will cheat on you. So know the difference. It's not hard, but you'll feel it in your body. Something won't feel right in your body. Something will feel off, and you'll be like, nope. Hello, Alta. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm just telling you, do not do it. Okay? But there are two types of cheaters. All you have to do is go to my reels. The last reel I created will teach you about the two types of cheaters. Okay? And both of them is no excuse for cheating. So I can't say that enough. I'm not excusing the first type. There is no excuse for cheating. If you're not able to clearly communicate your needs and your wants and clearly say, hey, this isn't working for me, and if this continues to not work for me over time, this may not be a good fit, like, go on about your business, because you cheating ruins your reputation. It ruins your integrity. You're not going to get no pass from me saying, oh, well, I cheated because my wife and I hadn't had sex in a year. You should have, communicated. You should have gotten professional help, and you should have went about your business. You should have said, look, I can't do this. That's important to me. It's important that our relationship have sexual intimacy. I just don't know how long I could stay in this relationship and remain faithful. Like, just be honest. Just be honest. I'm communicating regardless of type. Yeah, please do. Just be honest. That's it. Okay. I'm getting ready to get out of here because I got to water the grass real quick and get my dog from digging this hole in the grass. And then I'm going to jump back into sessions for the rest of the day until 8. So I just want to jump on here. This is another thing I'm going to announce. I may have to move the date of the masterclass. So I'm going to probably post about it tonight. I might have to move the date of the masterclass. I did not realize that March 31st was Easter Sunday. So it may be the following Sunday. And I think that's like April 6th or 7th. That's when we may have the masterclass. But I will post later. I will post on Instagram probably around 8 or 8:30. Let you know that date. We have people who have signed up. If you're not able to make it on that date, I'll gladly give you a refund. So I'll let you know. Have a great rest of your day. If you're coming in at the end, please watch the replay. I appreciate all of you. Have a wonderful day. And as always, stay open to love.